Hey guys, Jared Lintner here with Trey from Shimano, and we're here talking about the new Metanium DC. I currently fish with, I would say, 70% of Metaniums on the deck of my boat for all the Elite Series and all the tournaments I fish, and he's telling me about this Metanium DC, and he's like, it's so much improved and this and this. I'm like, dude, the Metanium as it was like one of the best reels I've ever fished with. How can you make improvements on that? But I guess this DC, which I don't even know what that stands for because I'm kind of ignorant when it comes to that. So explain to me what is different than a Metanium.
The big difference is going to be basically the DC, which stands for digital control. So what that is it's our digitally controlled braking system. There's a few different variations of the digital control braking system. Metanium has what we call IDC5. So what that does is that gives you a lot of adjustability. It's going to have an internal dial for your line type. So you're going to select braid, fluoro, or mono. What that's going to do is then trigger a program in the microcomputer. There is a microcomputer inside this reel that's going to know to set the setting for that type of line, right? To give the most appropriate amount of brake force based on the line type. From there, you have the external dial, which allows you to set it from 1 to 4 or auto mode. 1 is going to be your least amount of brake, 4 is going to be your most amount of brake, and auto is just going to kind of regulate it based on the conditions. So pretty sophisticated stuff.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
So how does that computer chip stay working?
It actually,
how does it keep charging?
As the spool rotates, it charges itself.
Like on a cast?
Yes.
So like the settings, for example, like I'm a big braid guy. Now, what would be my setting internally?
I think it's going to be internally, there's going to be 3 indications. It's going to be F for fluorocarbon,
okay.
PE for braid. They call braided line PE in Japan.
Okay.
And then N for mono,
okay.
which is nylon monofilament.
So then you have it all right there.
Yep. So once you set your line type in the inside, you can mess around with the external dial. I think you, as a pro, you're going to pretty much live on 2 for the most part. In really perfect conditions, you're going to go to 1 for extra distance.
Set it and forget it.
I mean, the big points on this are incredibly long distance casting, really easy to use. So even a guy who isn't a pro, who's maybe learning to use a bait caster for the first time, a DC is going to significantly reduce that learning curve.
Okay. Now I noticed, years ago with the DC models, there have this sound to them. Is that?
Yep.
In that also?
Still has the sound. A lot of guys love it.
Yeah, I think I used to fish with a guy back home, and you knew he had that reel. I was
Absolutely.
like, what is that noise? And sure enough, it was a DC, and I'm like, that's pretty cool.
It's definitely a head turner. I think a lot of people may kind of react to it at first and think, oh, I don't necessarily like this, but it really kind of grows on you. I mean, I've started to really love the DC sound. And another benefit of it is it lets you know that the thing's working. So
yeah.
Anything digital, you want to know that the thing's working. So the sound lets you know that the DC unit is still working. Additional features, it's got the Hagane magnesium body, so lightweight, and Micromodule gear. So as we've mentioned before, we're really known for our smooth, durable gears. Micromodule plays into that, kind of our commitment to continually evolving our metalworking technology. So it'll be $499 MSRP and available at
tacklewarehouse.com.